Thumbcoast TV and WGRT bring you St. Clair County at the Mackinac Policy Conference. Sponsored by the Community Foundation of St. Clair County, Michigan Mutual, and Eastern Michigan Bank.
Hi, I'm Michael Hensley with Thumbcoast TV. We're here at the Mackinac Policy Conference on Mackinac Island at the Grand Hotel. With me is Ryan Fewins-Bliss. He's the Executive Director at Michigan College Access. Ryan, how are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Thanks for joining me.
I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you. So can you give me a little bit of information on the mission of your organization?
Yeah, so MCAN is what we call ourselves, Michigan College Access Network. We're a statewide nonprofit trying to get more students into and through college. Adult students, traditional students, all for the goal of the state's 60 by 30 goal, that 60% of Michigan residents will have a degree or post-secondary certificate by the year 2030.
Okay. Sounds like a great mission. And I know that, right now it seems that the importance on going to college, getting through college, is a little bit, opinionated on if people should go to college. What are some of the benefits, right, of getting through college in Michigan specifically?
Yeah, mostly it's an easier life. Not an easy life, but an easier life. Folks are going to earn more. They're going to have an opportunity to get more jobs. It changes the lifestyle. Able to afford, have a living wage and afford vacations and go up north, come and visit Mackinac Island, if you will. And it just gives families much more sustainable wealth.
Okay.
Folks that have a bachelor's degree tend to make $1 million more over their lifetime than folks that don't.
Yeah. Well, and that's not to diminish trades or anything like that. There's still ample education opportunities for folks, who have that background and still want to continue through their post-secondary education. What's some of the work you're doing specifically in Huron, Sanilac, and St. Clair County?
Yeah, this is some of our oldest work, actually. We've worked with the community foundations in all of those communities, several of the high schools. We're talking like Bad Axe and Harbor Beach.
Okay.
So we've had advisors, college advisors placed in those high schools over time. We really work well with the CTE Center in Huron County. And these folks are all trying to shift their systems within the thumb to project people better into college with the hope that they're going to come back to the thumb and be an economic driver. Because we know that one of the benefits of college that I didn't mention is entrepreneurship. You don't have to go get a job for someone else. You can take those skills, build your own work, go into the thumb, build a business.
Well, and that's so important right now, especially if we're looking at population growth and economic development, specifically in St. Clair County, things like that. I think one of the other opportunities with college, as you mentioned, is acquiring skills that aren't necessarily in a textbook, right? College teaches you how to learn a little better than what high school and middle school and primary school does. So I think it's very beneficial. Anything coming up in the future that we should be aware about?
Yeah, we're really excited. St. Clair County Community College just got some grants from MyLeap, the new department at the state, and they've joined DC3C, Detroit Drives Degrees Community College Collaborative, and they've gotten some funding from Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation for that, and so they're going to be launching some new work, hiring some new staff. We're really excited about it. And things up in Sanilac and Huron are still cooking. We're still working with those folks.
That's really, really cool stuff. I want to take a 50,000-foot view of the state of Michigan, right? Where do you see, enrollment numbers and college completion numbers and things like that over the next few years? Do you think that the interest in going to college is increasing? Is it an uphill battle? Just give me a little bit of perspective of where you see this moving in the next 5 years.
Yeah, there's some weird things in the data here where folks think kids don't have to go to college, but when you ask them, what do you want for your kid, they want them to go to college. And when you ask the students, it's like 80% of them statewide want to go to college. So that there's this myth that people aren't interested anymore. They're scared and they can't access it, right? It's a big jump. It's a big financial investment. Oftentimes it means leaving home, right, leaving the community. So there's some fears and real barriers, transportation, childcare, all those things. So we have to solve those problems. One of the best things is that the state has increased their financial aid by 360% in the last 4 years. So we now have the Michigan Community College Guarantee. Students who live in a community college district can go for free, any student coming out of high school. And then we have the Michigan Achievement Scholarship that if you are financially eligible, we'll give you $5,500 toward a 4-year degree, or you get the community college guarantee at a community college. And then for adults, we have Michigan Reconnect. If you're over 25, you can get a free community college in district at your local community college. So we've taken away a lot of the financial barriers. So I'm hoping that the trends are going to go up. We've seen enrollment go up, especially since COVID, where it tanked. And we're seeing completion rates go up. So I think we're on the right trajectory. We've got to get rid of these myths so that we hear about.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for clearing the air on some of these myths and telling us a lot about what your organization is and how you're helping kids make those decisions on, is college right for me, and alleviating some of those barriers on, moving through that process. So
glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me give a quick shout out to school counselors. They're heroes.
Yes, they are. They do really great work. So
all the work. They do all the work.
Yes, they do. And thank you for watching Thumbcoast TV.
To hear more from this conversation, visit thumbcoast.tv.